This is a reconstruction of a dissection experiment room from Unit 731. As a trigger warning, I will be discussing some rather gruesome facts as well as essay. For those of you unaware, Unit 731 was a biological and chemical warfare outfit that engaged in lethal human experimentation. It was run by the Japanese, and most of the prisoners were Chinese, as well as there were Russians and Koreans. The average life expectancy of a prisoner who entered Unit 731 was 2 months. However, some prisoners lasted up to a year or over. When a prisoner initially arrived at Unit 731, they were given plenty of food, they were given alcohol, and they're made to be in the best possible condition that they could be. Then, over several days, they were drained of blood and nutrients, and their deteriorating health was recorded. The historian Sheldon H. Harris discusses some of the gruesome tactics that the Unit 731 would employ if they wanted to do research on certain human organs. He gives the example of them wanting to do research on the human brain. If this was the case, then the guards would find a useful sample or prisoner and bring him out. He would be forcibly held down while another guard would take an axe and smash that prisoner's head open. Their brain would then be taken off for examination. Thousands of men, women, and children were subjected to the horrors of vivisection. Many of these experiments were conducted to research how different diseases develop inside the body. And of course, this was done without anesthesia. Often while the prisoners were still tied down, and as you can see here, they're using forcible vivisection to see how the organ is reacting to disease. Some of the prisoners had their limbs forcibly removed so that they could study blood loss. Others had their limbs from one side of the body placed onto the other side of the body to see how the body reacted. In some cases, they had their stomachs surgically removed, or in other cases, they took the esophagus and attached it to the intestine. The New York Times once interviewed a former member of Unit 731, and I'll read verbatim what he says here. The fellow knew that it was over for him, and so he didn't struggle when they let him into the room and tied him down. But when I picked up the scalpel, that's when he began screaming. I cut him open from chest to stomach, and he screamed terribly, and his face was all twisted in agony. He made this unimaginable sound. He was screaming so horribly, but then he finally stopped. Other experiments included the use of live ammunition, such as grenades and shrapnel, stabbing bayonets into live prisoners to see how they reacted to the different weapons. They did hanging prisoners upside down until dead. They did pressure chambers where their eyes would burst out of their sockets. They did electrocution. They did basically any way a human could die. That's how they experimented. In some cases, when they were experimenting on dehydration, some of the victims ended up becoming